Hello, hello, hello. How are you? And welcome to Bima's Crafty Corner. I am Bima, better known as Els, and that's Harry. Hi, Howie. Hi, Howie. Yeah. What you doing, baby? You hanging out? Good morning, Miss Arlene. You need to get down. Come on. Well, I got a Temu order this morning. Let's see what we got. We got bigger dots. I needed dots, I needed dots. I was out of round ones. That's the problem. Like I have a bunch of square ones, but I don't have any round ones. So I grabbed some of those. You need to get down, right? What, is it manicure day? Let me see. Oh, goodness, it is. You need those nails clipped, huh? Yes. Mommy needs to fix them. Mommy needs to fix those. Yes, I know. They're not comfortable. They're not comfortable. I know. They get to a point where they're just not comfy, huh? All right. But I need the desk. So can you get down? Seriously, can you get down? Please? Okay. And then I got these. Now, I thought there were more than two. I don't know why I thought it was 5. But apparently it's only 2. I'm going to have to look. But these are beatable bookmarks. And so we're going to give it a try. I don't know. But I got a bunch of beads for these things. And I got these, which were not supposed to be the plastic ones. But they are the crappy plastic ones. Yeah. I just have to cut the plastic off the outside. That's all. You just have to fussy cut them. Okay, then I got this. Now this is going to be so helpful in my life because right now, every time I send out a big order, I have to try and build a box. This, it doesn't cut it, but it recreases your cardboard so that you can, if I can get this thing on here. There we go. It recreases your cardboard so that you can fold it better. Because, like, I have to play Build-A-Box, It's like Build-A-Bear, but without all the fun. Hi, Miss Mari. And then I ordered this. I wanted to see, how it looked. It's just ricky-racky. But it is a nice size. It's a nice width. It's about a little over 1/4 of an inch, like 3/8 of an inch. Which is good. It's a good size for journals. So, and it's a nice spool, and there's a lot on there, and it was very inexpensive. So that's it. Hey, Rose. All right, so let's take a look at what we're doing and where we are. So I built the book. It has one flip this way. This doesn't have any flip on it at all. It's just a fin. And then this one is got a flip that goes that way. So we have space in here for 1, 2, 3 journal sections, signatures, and we have 3 journal signatures. We are currently working, not that one, let me get that out of the way. Oh, here it is. It's over there. Excuse me. On signature A, let's see, anything else in here that I need at the moment? I don't think so. All right. Seriously. No. Headbutting me is not going to get you what you want. Okay, it might. Get down. Come on. Come on. You got to get down, buddy. Go on. Up on the back of the chair. There you go. Okay. That's okay. All right. So this is the section that we're currently working on. And we have a little tag here. We'll finish all these off at the end. And then we have a nice big journaling card here. And then a little flip over here. This is one of our make-ahead pieces. And it starts life looking like this. I think there's a video for this. I'm not sure. It may be coming out. But it's a basic, quick, easy. You can make a bunch of these, put them in your stash, and you've got them made ahead for what you need. And then you just, decorate accordingly. Then we have a little flip over here, little pocket. We've got the journaling card, another tag. This is one of those Tim Holtz cards that you can't do any damn thing with. We just put it in here because what are you going to do with it? The other side is crap. And then up here we have a paper clip. This is one of our little mini envelope paper clips. Right? We're going to be doing this particular one, I believe, in the craft with me this week. And it holds this journal card, which needs to have a better tag put in it. And I do have the tag that we're going to be doing, a little piece of ephemera that we put here. And this is just, it's a little journal card with a pocket on the front. And we're just holding it in with this little paper clip. Turn it over. Another little piece of ephemera here. Plenty of writing space. Another plenty of writing space. We're kind of going through with this. We found a little spiderweb stamp. It's cute. And so we're using it. There's some washi tape that was sent to me in the washi swap. And then over here, we have a little tuck with a journaling card. And we have one of our, we did this one, I think, last week, which is a junk mail envelope that we're using the window from. And then up here, just another little piece of ephemera. It's not a tuck or anything. It's just a little piece of ephemera. And again, a little piece of ephemera. We have this little pocket, which I think there's a video coming out for this one. It looks like just a journaling card, but it's a little pocket and it has a little journal card inside of it. And then you can glue it, down so that you have a pocket either this way, so it's tall, or on the side, whichever you prefer. Then we have what looks like another paper clip. It is. It's one of our little paper clip pockets. There's a little journaling card inside of it. And of course that can move. And then this is our center. We have our ravens over here. And then we have a tall pocket here. This is a die. This is a die. And we have a little tag in there. What the heck have we got going on over here? Oh, she needs to be on this blue. I don't care who you are. She belongs on the blue. So we have her pinned. And this is where we are today. Now, as always, I am doing one signature off camera. Let's see. What do we got? All right. So, I apologize for being late today. We had more drama last night in our neighborhood than I think this neighborhood has ever seen. Mike and I were here. We were playing the game last night. We were in Wizard. And, we don't smoke in the house. So I said, okay, after this fight, I'm going out. And he said, okay. So I went ahead and walked outside, and I heard, like, at first I thought there's a house across the main street from us. Like, we live in the center of a city block. So on the other side of the major street, in the center of that block, there's a park. And on the end of the park, there's a square 1 acre plot of land that's owned by one guy. He's got some horses over there, and they're always having parties. And they're usually very loud, but usually you hear the music and stuff. But I went out there and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then I heard, come out with your hands up. And I went, ooh. So I opened the door. I said, we got something going on. He's like, what? Now, we haven't heard anything like that probably in about 8-9 years. God, 10 years, because we have lived in neighborhoods that are different. They're mostly old people. And so, yeah, apparently, across the street from me, and then there's the next street, and there's no houses on that street. There's a walking trail, and then there's houses on the other side. On that side, right across from me, some guy was barricaded in his house. And that was at about 11:30 last night. And I was like, oh God, because I go to bed at midnight so that I can be up at 8 o'clock in the morning and make my breakfast, get my shower, do all the stuff that I need to do before I go live. And at about 2:30 in the morning, they shot off about 4 or 5 flashbangs and then started talking to the guy again. Nobody's here to hurt you, but you just shot off 4 or 5 flashbang grenades. But we don't want to hurt you. So, yeah, that went on until about 3:15 this morning. We had the whole street, not our street, but the street behind the houses across from us. That whole street was blocked off. It's a major street. That whole street was blocked off, and they had fire and rescue out there. They had paramedics out there. They had, for some reason, when the SWAT team showed up, because we had the SWAT team out here too. We had drones out here. We had the SWAT team out here. Hostage negotiators were out here. When the SWAT team showed up, they brought digging equipment. I don't know if they were going to secretly dig underneath the foundation of the house. I don't know. But I'm sure it's just that's what their standard deployment is. But yeah, it was a spectacular mess until about 3:30, 3:45 this morning. There were people that live over on that side because I have that next door neighbor app. There were people that live over on that side that they couldn't even get into their neighborhood. Like, they got home from work. You have to remember, this is Vegas. So here, people get off work at, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Well, these people got off work at about 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock last night, could not get to their houses. They didn't evacuate anybody around the house. Yeah, cheaper than Netflix. So Mike and I were out front because Mike comes out back and he goes, no. He goes, it's up front. I said, what? He goes, yeah, it's up front, because I thought it was behind us. And he goes, no, it's up front. If you come over here and you're not like sitting with the house behind us in front of you where it's echoing, he says you can hear it. And so we went out front. And there's one renter in our neighborhood. Everybody else owns their homes. And so they're mostly older people. So we have one renter, one house that's a rental. And they're very nice people. Just really nice. But they're renters, and they have a 5-year rental agreement. So it's not like, it's not turning into a transient neighborhood. I guess it's her aunt that owns the house. Like the people that live next to us, technically they're renters, but her mother owns it, and they live in her mom's house. But the mom has moved to Florida or something. And so these folks, they're renting it. I think it's her aunt or his aunt. One of them. It's the aunt of one of them. And they've got a couple of kids, and they're a little noisier than, everybody else in the neighborhood, but they have kids. Nobody else here has children, even though we have 2 elementary schools at the end of the street. So Mike and I go out, we open the garage, and we go out, and the guy that rents down the street, he comes walking down, and he's like, and you can hear them. They're talking to this guy. I guess his name was Armando. They were like, Armando, come out with your hands up. Armando, nobody wants to hurt you. We just want to hear your side of the story, Armando. Come on out, Armando. And he goes down. He's walking down the street. And he's looking to see what's going on. He's like, Armando's in a lot of trouble. I said, yeah. He goes, this is weird. I said, I know. We don't hear this on this side of the freeway. He goes, never. Because we have a freeway. And on that side of the freeway, it's not the greatest area. But on this side of the freeway, which is about a mile down the road, this is the high-end neighborhood. Vegas is very weird like that. This is the high-end area. This is like I joke it, about it, but I live like a mile from Nicolas Cage, It's a lot of retirement communities. We have golf cart communities, like right down the street. Directly across the street from us, like across the major street, is what they call the lakes. And it's like, you've heard us talk about the pimp walking duck. Yeah, they have like lakes and rivers and stuff over there that it's all man-made, but it's made to create a sense of that kind of a lakefront community. And so like things like this don't go on in our area. So we were laughing, but we were out there, and Mike and I are out there smoking our cigarette, and the guy's walking down the street, and he's smoking his cigarette. He's like, this is more excitement than we've had. I said, in forever. He goes, no shit. Because he's lived here for about 1.5 years now. And it's like, we've seen him, we've talked to him before, and he's like, it is dead quiet around here. When he first moved in, he's like, I got to figure this out because I'm not sleeping. Because it's dead quiet here at night. It's like nothing. Like if we hear a car drive down the street, it's like, wow. But so I was up till about 3:30 this morning listening to this cop repeat the same thing for hours. My name is Noah. I'm the hostage negotiator for Las Vegas Metro PD. Armando, we need you to come out with your hands up. With nothing in your hands, come out the door. Flashbangs. Boom, 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 boom. Armando, I need you to give me a sign that you're okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. See, that's what they do, though. They do that. Habitat for Humanity. Do you know where they build their houses? The ghetto. Like literally in the ghetto. And, okay, that's not a good word for it, but in the socially economic depressed areas, that's where they do it. My mom's lived in her housing. Not a fantastic neighborhood. It wasn't terribly bad, but some of the ones that they have were in Alphabet City. And I don't know if you know what Alphabet City is, but if you live in a big city, you know what Alphabet City is. When she got her housing, they said, okay, we have a place available for you. I said, all right, great. Where is it? And they're like, oh, well, we don't tell you the location until after we get all the paperwork and everything signed. I said, look, I'm not putting my mother in Alphabet City. Where is it? Because if she declines it, she goes to the bottom of the list. So I want to know where it is because I'm not going to decline it to find out she was in the one or two good places. And so the one that she was in was fairly decent, and it wasn't very far from my house. It was like a 5-minute car ride, so I could get to her if I needed to. And that was the only way she was allowed to move out. Okay, Alphabet City. In big cities, there's like zones. And in every big city, there is some section that they, instead of naming the streets, they number them or alphabetize them. And it's only like, they're small. It's not like a major street. It's like A court, B court, C court, D street. They're not avenues or boulevards. They're just streets, little streets. And they're usually enclosed by like 4 major streets. And they're never a good area. It's like the city says, okay, we've got this plot of land. Let's put some streets in here and we're going to put in low-end housing, low-cost housing, and, low-income housing. And that's what they do. They go in there and they build low-income. Our Alphabet City has been there for so long. They were built in the late 40s, early 50s. Now they're telling all the people that live there, they got to get out because they're going to redo, because it's city projects. They're going to go in and they're going to redo them. They knocked down a bunch of the cities, the projects here in Vegas. They built those projects. Do you know what they built across the street? The FBI headquarters. Like, that might help. Yeah, Project Square. Some people call it like Midtown, the ghetto, the hood. But yeah, basically it's where they go in and they create this little community, and it really is kind of a cloistered community that it's mostly low rent housing. And they go in and they put, usually towards the front of it, they'll put like the senior housing or the disabled housing, and then as it goes back, it becomes family housing. Unfortunately, you put too many people in too close of proximity like that a lot of them don't feel that they have any availability for upward mobility, and it becomes a really trashy area, and nobody wants to go into it. Here in Vegas, it's right off Fremont Street, literally. Just behind Fremont Street. And so it's full of homeless people who are in there. A lot of the buildings, like I said, they were built in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. They are dilapidated. They are under insulated. They have leaks, bad plumbing. They're just crap. And so a lot of those buildings, as people did move out of them, they boarded them up. Well, now there's people squatting in them. People that live in Vegas, they don't go in that neighborhood. They just don't. Because it's the kind of neighborhood where you drive down the street and if you stop at a red light, you could be carjacked. And it's literally like, I'm looking at Fremont Street. It's right there. And tourists don't realize that. And they come and they get turned around over there and they end up in that neighborhood and they get robbed and they get mugged and they get, it's so actually at one point the city of Las Vegas closed off the major thoroughfare that went from downtown to that area. And the people that lived in that area complained because now they have to go like all the way around to get to the casinos and stuff that they work in downtown. Yeah, they're it's a war zone, really. And you go and you drive through there. When you do drive through there, you find there's couches on the sidewalk, and people are sitting in them, and um, they got fires burning in old barrels, and the rescue mission is over there, and um, there's a couple of drug rehabs, you know, and they're not like the Betty Ford Center. These are like the city has sentenced you to complete a 30-day in-house drug program. That's where you get locked up. Uh, yeah. So yeah, and that's usually what happens. Not up here, you know. But and it's really weird too, because if from that area of Vegas, you literally go, like I said, it's like a mile from Fremont Street, from downtown Vegas, old Vegas, on one side. It's like you go a half a mile north, and okay, so a mile west gets you to the Strip. A mile north, about a half mile north, gets you into a country club. That's how weird this is. A mile to the west is actually worse. It's worse. It's like kind of a continuation. But then like 2 miles out, and it's farmland. There's people over there with it's a historic area. They have like horses and that kind of thing. And then you go a mile south of it, and you're in a fairly decent residential area that has been recently, I guess they call it gentrified, but it's been recently updated and remodeled, and they knocked down a bunch of old houses and they put in new housing. And so it's kind of a weird thing, but that's Vegas. That's the way Vegas is, because Vegas has grown up in pockets. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The Las Vegas Strip is not actually in the township of Las Vegas. That is in the county. And so a lot of people that live around it live in the county. They don't live in the city. But nobody knows that. They come here and they go, it's Vegas. Yeah, it's just the Strip. It's Vegas, But Las Vegas is actually made up of like 5 different small townships. There's Winchester, Las Vegas, Henderson. It's a bunch of little townships, but they all fall under the purveyance of Las Vegas. They've unified it to be one little city, like for city works. So you have like your fire department and all that. It's all Las Vegas. Like there's a 1 mile strip just off of the Las Vegas Strip where prostitution is legal, because it's under, it doesn't have any city jurisdiction. It only has county jurisdiction, and prostitution is legal in the county, but not in the city. So there's like this 1 little mile that's unincorporated, and like prostitution is legal on that strip. Exactly. So yeah, because it grew up in pockets, there's like the Winchester area, the Huntridge area. There's some Frank Lloyd Wright, or whatever his name is, that designer. He designed some houses in there. So there's some houses in there that are like, they're historic. You can't get rid of them. There's the Alta area, which is where all of the casino bosses and mobsters used to live. And that street actually wiggles and jars, and the houses there all have like walls on them, and they're all very different. But that was considered the outside of Vegas at the time. Now it's closer to the center of Vegas than it is the outside of Vegas. So yeah, so you'll drive down a street here and there'll be like a neighborhood that was built for workers, and then cross the major intersection and there's a country club with mansions. So you got like $150,000 homes, $1.5 million homes, and they're a block apart. And that's because that's the way Vegas developed. They built the casino, and then they built housing for the workers, which is, right around the strip. And then they built the bosses' houses outside of town, what was considered, on the outskirts. Then Vegas grew up, and so they had to build more housing. Well, that impeded on these houses, so now they moved these further up. And usually in a city, you have like your main area downtown, and then it's kind of crappy, and it gets a little better as it goes out. Well, because Vegas is a bowl, it's like good, crappy, good, crappy, crappy, good, good, crappy, good. It's like each neighborhood has its own personality. It's very weird. I've never lived anywhere like this in my life. Yeah, kind of like Denver. But we don't have that kind of nonsense going on here in our neighborhood. We just don't, because this is an old residential neighborhood. The houses here were all built in the mid 80s. Everybody who bought here, they're the original owners. A lot of these people are original owners. And their houses are paid off. They're not going to move. And so we have like a very quiet neighborhood. The only time there's noise in this neighborhood is when the kids are going to and from school. Yeah. So it was interesting last night. All right. So we have to, where is it? I'll find it. It's here. This one. So I printed this off, and I thought it kind of has that look, So we're going to trim this out, possibly trim it down. We're going to back it, and we're going to put it in that spot. So let's get it trimmed out first, and then we'll figure out what's going on. So, yeah. Long story short, I was up till about 3 o'clock this morning, listening to them yell at Armando and talk to him and try to find out if his dog needed water. He's in the house. I don't think he needs to get water, guys. I think he's got the water. I'm sure they probably turned it off because they do that. All right. So let's take this out of here and let's move this out of the way. And then let's see what we need to do as far as size. All right, so obviously we're going to have to take this down. So let's take from the bottom, because that's the biggest part. Let's see. A little bit more. I'm going to go just a little bit more because I want it to be able to move pretty freely in there. And then I have, let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down, and then we'll cut it out and, do all this stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting night. I have to wait for the glue. Let it flow. Let it flow. Don't squeeze it. Let it flow. Doesn't want to flow no more. Let it flow. Let it flow. Oh, I left it uncapped last night. Sorry. Dur, dur, dur. I do that sometimes. I accidentally forget and I leave it uncapped. There we go. So how the hell is everybody? Rose, how are you doing? Rose is going to be a grandma again. She's getting a little boy. She's going to have a match set. One little boy, one little girl. Free for the rest of the day. Yay! Freedom! She watches her grandbaby, so. So she doesn't get many days off. All right. Now with that, let's go around the corners. Let's throw the corner rounder on the floor. Okay, else, do this so you can see what you're doing. But why? Gosh, you dork. All right. Ink. For those of you that have to complain about it, we're using Distress Ink Black Soot. I so don't like Timmy stuff. We should start like a whole club. The no Timmy stuff. All right. So now this is going in there. And it fits. But since this goes up like this, I want to put this in like this. Just like that. Okay. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So we have that in there. Let's bring the book back over. Okay, here we go. So anybody who missed it, Rose joined me last week for the craft with me. And we made clusters. We did. We made clusters. And then right at the end, I made one for Rose and she made one for me. So hers is all black and pokey, and mine was all pink and frilly. Okay. So we got all that in there. Got all that. Where are we? We're here. We're on this blue page. Now, let me tell you about this. So we want to put her on, and I think she belongs on the blue page, but she doesn't look good on this blue page. She looks fantastic on this one. See? So we're going to make something for her. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to make something for her. I don't really want to do another belly band. I might do one this way. The only thing I don't like about the ones that you do this way is if whatever you put in them is not very tight as far as like its fit, it slides out of the book. So. Yes, I made her something pink. So I'm going to put some ink on our lady of the house here. I'm still trying to find a picture of Marie Laveau of her tomb at night. Actually, I have a picture that they say is Marie Laveau. Now I know that what the hell's her name? There's an actress that did a whole video on a whole movie on her, and Angela Bassett. But this is not Angela Bassett. Put a stopper pocket under it. Okay. Let's see. We have this little bag of ephemera that we've made, and here's the one that I need to. I was joking around. I used a flower. I really did make a pink one. Okay. Let's get one of those. Some of that. Let's get out all of this. There we go. Okay. Now I feel like I'm working. There's a freaking mess on my desk. I don't want to do that. You know, instead of stressing about this, maybe I will use this on one of the fins. No, I won't. It's got to go in here. All right, let's see what we got. No. Tulle rosette, huh? So some black tulle. Make a rosette. All right. Where the hell did I just put that? Here. So you mean like that? Like I did on this one? Like, but in tulle? All right, give me a second. I'm going to go find some black tulle. I'll be right back. I know where it is. I just got to go get it. Okay. All right. So let's get a piece of this. Get that out of the way. You mean kind of like that? Okay. All right. I think we're going to use about half as much, though, because that's a lot. And it adds a lot of bulk to the back. I don't want to add a lot of bulk. Like that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get this out of the way. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, we'll cut a circle. Slightly smaller than the one we're using. And then get my let's get some thread to make my life a little easier doing it this way. Scissors. There. Okay. Scissors. And seriously. Well, crap. I don't need that piece of thread. I already got a needle fully threaded. All right. So let's do a fairly narrow running stitch here. Okay, grab my end. And I'm going to tie this loose. I don't want to draw it too much. Otherwise, it'll be bulky. I don't like bulky. that. Put that away. Okay. So now it's just to help hold it. Okay. So now I'm going to put a metric ton glue. I don't care what you do. This thing is never clean. I have cleaned this thing out a million times. All right. Make sure I got that. Okay, so that's her. That's the bottom right there. Okay. I want this to be semi, you know, at the bottom. All right, let's take. That's why we're working with this, because this glue is a little bit more forgiving. All right. Now, this. On there. I'm going to let this dry. So I'm going to let that dry. Okay. That's our new word of the week. See, that's a word. That's going to be too bulky. Too busy. See, we just randomly pull stuff out of the pile and go, what do you think? Who would like it? I really like this, and I'm saving it for something. So I'm going to put a pin in this, put it over here. Here we go. We're back to this again. Let's just cut this off here and there because we don't really need these things. I don't know what the hell you're supposed to do with it. We're just going to cut it off here and there. What the hell? All right, so let's do this. We're going to make a pocket down here. Regular paper, not 110. So I got all of the Happy Mails out. And all that stuff. Let me ink this real quick. So that all went out Monday. Hubbard took it all to the post office. $50 in postage. Holy crap. It was kind of funny. All right, so I got these boxes that I picked up on my scavenger, and I got them from this computer company that no longer needed them. And so I got them really cheap, and it was like, oh, cool, this will work. Because they're not very big. Unfortunately, they're not very big. It's just everyone help me. Oh. So I have these boxes. Okay. They are 7 inches long by like 5 inches wide by about 1.5 inches deep, give or take. They're 7.5 by 5.5 by 1.5. And I'm thinking to myself, these are perfect. They're just the right size. They're going to be great. Yeah, no, they didn't fit. Sorry, I'm off camera there, guys. Yeah, size matters. It did not fit. They fit everything but one item that I was putting in the Happy Meal. And I have this thing in my head where, like, I put the stuff together for the Happy Meal, and then for whatever reason, I will not take something back. You know, I'm like, no, I wanted to send this to them, so they're getting it. So everybody's Happy Meal is now coming in a bag. But I cut the quarterly projects because that also goes in the bag. And I decided that I was going to cut some different ones. So I ended up having to go to Michael's to get 110-pound cardstock because I have it in black, I have it in white, I have it in cream, and I have it in craft. But that kind of limits what I can do. So I went over to Michael's and I bought a set of blues and a set of purples. It's like 4 blues, 4 purples, okay? 25 sheets of each. And then I came home and I started looking through stuff and I came up with this combination and this combination, which is like bricks. The other side has dots on it, I think. That's a double-sided cardstock. This is the original. And then I found this one with it's got the birthday paper and it's this light blue. I like it. It's cute. And then there was this purple one that I had, and I had these flowers, and this was one of the purple ones. So I was like, okay, so I got that. And then I did this one. Rose, this is the one I sent you, okay? Look, pink and flowers. But, so all of those got sent out. So if you are on the Scaventurist tier in Patreon, you got yours for free. If you are not and you want one, remember my quarterly projects, I generally tend to do all your scoring and everything for you. So it's just basically an assembly. Just because a lot of people don't have scoreboards, a lot of people may not understand eighths or 16ths, and sometimes those measurements are required. So, so just to make sure, I usually pre-score all the big pieces and stuff, and then they're all packaged up. With these, if you see that they have the black rubber bands on them, that's because I've counted them 3 times, and I know that there's the appropriate number of pieces. So yeah, so I ended up cutting like 14 of them. It was a pain in my butt, I gotta tell you. I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah, some people are lazy. They don't want to cut. All right, we're gonna put this one in here. It's a big pocket. We could put that in there. It's just a little righty thing. And her. Or we can get more dramatic. I kind of think I like the drama better. All right, we're going to do the drama. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I know. I wasn't supposed to use my butt, but sitting here all that time. Oh my God. My back, my butt. And then, oh, my favorite part. This one got me. So, a few months back, somebody in this house a while ago borrowed the set of numbers that I use for that. Because you have to put numbers on for the little, for the days. And somebody borrowed them. And either they didn't get put back in the drawer, or they got put back wrong. And now I can't find them. So I had to choose other numbers. Well, I only have one other set of numbers as far as dies go. And they're actually birthday candles. Which is to say that it's a number with a little candle thing at the top. It looks like little candles, So I had to take those and I had to cut the little candle parts off of each and every one of them. Now, do the math here. I made 20 sets. It's 14 numbers per set. Oh, my hands hated me. Hated me. I know, right? I'm not giggling, honest. Ha ha. Yeah. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad. And then every time I would die cut them, and for whatever reason, there's always that one that won't cut properly, and you try to get it off of there, and it tears, or you just can't get it off of there. Every time that happened, I was losing my crap. And then I thought to myself, I went, I have all of these Sizzix cartridge dies. Someplace there must be a set of numbers. No. I went through every freaking box of those things. No numbers. No numbers anywhere. You made cards for living, sweetheart. Didn't you make any numbered cards? Like happy 12th birthday? Oh, look, you're one. No numbers in all of them. Oh, I was mad. I was so mad. I was mad. I'm like, mussa. What do you mean you're not going to come out of there? I was pissed. What? Yes, you're a cat. I'm a mommy. I have opposable digits, can open the treats. I get it. Yeah, I'll find tomorrow what I need, And then, you're not getting the jar. You never get the jar. What are you doing? I cleaned out one cubby. I still have two more to do. Yeah, because on top of everything else, I need photo corners for that project. And I have packages of them, except I couldn't find them. So I had to go back to Michael's to find photo squares. Guess what? For some weird reason, their photo squares are not where you'd expect them to be. You would expect your photo squares to be, oh, I don't know, by the scrapbooks? No. By the adhesive? No. Where? Well, at my Michael's, they keep them on that section that has their dies and their punches for whatever reason. I know. Zola would go. Then she'd pat me on the back. You poor old lady. Yeah. Yeah. So by time I'm back in the Michaels looking for the photo corners, I'm thinking in my head, somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna die. I am going to unalive somebody in this store right now. Oh, this girl looks like she's 12. She comes up to me and she goes, can I help you? You seem to be wandering. I'm like, first off, it's a craft store. We wander. Second, I know you're loss prevention, and I live in here, so go the hell away. I don't know, just something about me. They always make the loss prevention always follows me around the damn store. Maybe because I go in expecting to find something because it's a scrapbooking item in the scrapbooking aisle and it's not there. I looked where they have like all of the envelopes and the tags and the pre-cut bookmarks and all that stuff. It wasn't there. Oh, well, it's kind of an adhesive loosely. Let's do that. We'll go look at the adhesives. Walk over to the adhesive. No. And so I'm actually like this aisle, that aisle, this aisle, that aisle, this aisle. I get it. I go back and forth. But if you work in a craft store and you're loss prevention, just understand, us old broads who are crafters, we meander. Some of us only get to go to the craft store once or twice a year. We meander more than most. Some of us are crafters who expect shit to be in a certain place, and when it's not there, we meander. Then just to mess with her, I went over to the yarn. Hi, Buffy. Does she show massive disappointment? So, yeah. Okay, I'm done with this. I like it. It's done. We're moving on. All right, so this is the page that she is going on. I don't know that we could. I bet you we can. All right, I'm going to glue her here and here. We're going to try it. I don't know if it will work. Okay, here we go. Turning that. Putting her down. I found them in the section that had the cutting dies and punches. No freaking idea why they would be there. All right. Like, that does not make sense. I don't know what you think you're doing, but get your butt out of there. You are not climbing up on my paper shelves. I love you. Not happening. Oh, see, yeah, you're Michael's. They're at the framing counter, which doesn't make any sense. I've had some situations, though, I'll be honest with you. Well, that's like the new Walmart. The new Walmart setup. Why do they keep messing with shit? So that they went through and decided that when they're picking, that apparently it needs to be in a different order than when we're picking our own stuff. So Walmart went and moved every damn thing to a different location. Now, 90% of the people who shop in Walmart, who used to just walk in, pick up what they needed, and get the hell out, just like Walter wanted, now they go in and you hear this throughout the whole. Where's the? I wanted a free.
Where are you hiding the blah?
Diced ham. You know they have it. You know, because they have it for like salads and stuff, you know, cubed hams for breakfast. Usually you find that crap back in the meat section, right? Usually it's hung up there, the ham steaks and ham at the end, you know, ham, steaks, Canadian bacon, diced ham, chopped ham packages. Usually right over the, we are sick and tired of putting red paint on this meat. It's gross now. We want it out of here. Sale bin. So I looked in the lunch meat. I looked in the actual meat. We looked by the deli. Where else would you think to find this? I even took a rough stab and went to see if it was in the dairy area, thinking, okay, maybe they cubed it, and, you know, because it's cubed ham. They went ham omelets. Oh, go back by the eggs. So we went and looked back there. No. The cubed ham was in one of those center things where they had like smoked turkey legs and stuff. And I was like, why? Why is this? Oh, wait, because ham is cured and so are smoked turkey legs. So that seemed logical to you? That's like putting the flour next to the spaghetti sauce because people might make pizza. was like, It's like they had some weird person come in and feng shui the Walmart. All of a sudden, everything's like esoteric and stuff. Oh my God, just leave it that alone. And everything in the Walmart now, everything is behind glass.
Locked up.
It's all locked up. But here's a little. I know. Leave that craft alone. So here's the thing. In our Walmarts, they now have sections. Not all of them, but some of them. They have cosmetics. It's now enclosed in its own little area. Electronics. Well, okay, that one's always been that way. Some of our stores have menswear corralled because apparently people are stealing Walmart clothes now enough that, they're concerned about it. Alcohol and beer and wine is now enclosed. And I went to get something, and it was in the makeup section, in the beauty section. I don't remember what the hell it was. Probably Q-tips. And I'm walking out of the section with the box of Q-tips. And the cashier looks at me and she says, you need to ring that up here. You need to stay. I said, no, I don't. I need to ring it up before I leave the store. Because here's the thing about Walmart. I don't know if anybody knows this. But if you use your debit card in Walmart's terminals more than twice, it refuses to take your card. So if you go in and you need a charger cable for your cell phone, so you go to the electronics department and you purchase that, and they make you ring it up back there, and you ring it up. And then you go up and you go, well, you know what? I need to get like some Q-tips and cotton balls. That's what it was cotton balls. And I need some cotton balls. So you go in and you ring up the cotton balls. And then you say to yourself, oh, crap, before I leave here, I should probably pick up some aspirin. And that's behind one of those things. Now you have to ring that up. Walmart will not accept your debit card for the rest of your purchase at the front of the store. You can stand up there and scan it as much as you want. It's going to decline it every time. Because their system is only set up. It's set up, and it's an anti-theft thing, so that people can't go in and like run up your card. It'll only accept it so many times before it will not accept your debit card. So now that they have all their little sections, it's like shopping at the mall, except it all goes to Walmart. And so the Walmart, the actual machines will stop processing your card. Isn't that handy? Okay, I need, where is it? I lost my ink. I need the other one. There we go. My memento. I don't want to use that ink because if I put glue or something on it, it will smudge, Put paper behind there because if we stamp off, we don't want to stamp any other paper. That would look stupid. Yeah, you can have your whole thing rung up there, but if you're not done shopping, yeah, it's gotten to be a pain in the butt. I just want to buy some bananas. Why are they locked up in a cage? You know? And that ain't even funny because truthfully, there are some Walmarts here in Vegas that lock up like everything. Mike doesn't like to shop there. He says that it smells like weed and depression. And it does. I started having him go to the Walmart neighborhood market. He likes that so much better. But see, we can't buy produce there because their produce sucks.
Well,
Milk. We started having a problem with milk from Walmart.
it seems to go bad so much sooner than the day.
It like if its date is today, it was bad 2 days ago.
At least. Rude.
So we noticed it one time and we were like, okay, maybe it was middle of summer. Maybe, they just didn't get the milk put away quick enough. It happens, especially when it's 115 freaking degrees outside.
You got 50 Karens asking me where the lettuce is.
Well, because you moved it and it's now over by the chocolate syrup. Because that's apparently where lettuce belongs. But, so, we didn't say anything. It was only like, a couple of days before it was supposed to expire. We were like, eh. But the truth is we don't go through a gallon of milk, but it's cheaper to buy a gallon than it is to buy a half gallon. When you look at the great scheme of things.
And I use a lot of milk for my cereal.
Yeah, he drowns his cereal. And then, when Buggy's over, and if the other grandbabies are here, we could use a lot of milk. But for the most part, it's just me and him. And we use maybe a cup or two to make something. And then he has a bowl of cereal, and that's pretty much it. But maybe he makes pudding, But we noticed that the milk was going bad very quickly. And I've never really liked Walmart produce, to be honest. It's just not my thing. To me, their produce is just bad. It's bad. They buy like whatever's left over, and that's what they sell, as far as I'm concerned. And I know this because I know somebody who does buying for Walmart. Walmart buys apples and then says they're organic. They buy lettuce and say it's organic because that way they can charge more for it. But the truth is it comes from the exact same farm that the regular lettuce comes from, and it comes from the exact same fields that the regular lettuce comes from. They're organic because they don't have certified organic. They have organic. And, now they're 59 cents a pound for bananas. Okay. You go to Albertsons and they charge you 50 cents per banana. Per banana. Yeah. But see, here, we don't have our farmers markets. They don't grow that crap here. Nothing grows in friggin' Nevada. You know what I mean? Up in northern Nevada, yes, maybe. But that produce is not going to be good when it gets down here. All they do is they go to the import area and they just buy cases of shit, because if you look, it's all sitting right there. Most of what you're buying at the farmer's market here does not come from the farm. They just go buy it by the case and then sell it for an obnoxious amount of money, saying that it's farm raised. But it is farm raised, just not on their farm. They are not the farmer. They're the guy who got up and went down to the produce market early in the morning. I personally would love to live someplace where I could get fresh produce. I was raised on fresh produce. As a chef, I really like fresh produce. Walmart has crappy produce. So yeah, so here, produce is an issue. It's a huge issue. That's why when I travel, if I'm traveling and I see a roadside fruit stand and there's no boxes anywhere, they're just like in buckets, I'm stopping. You know what I mean? I'm stopping. Wood crates, I'm stopping. Why? Because it's probably actually grown someplace. Like real food. Not like that crap that they sell here. Oh. And they get bitchy. But like, I buy. Okay, I'm a bit lazy. But here's the deal. Every morning, I have to have certain food. We all know this. I have found that if I eat a specific food in the morning, like a breakfast, a set breakfast, that I can regulate my sugar throughout the day. So, breakfast is 2 eggs, scrambled with heavy cream, about 3, maybe 4 slices of bacon, because I quarter it. So I just get, pieces about like that. So like strips, it's probably about 3 strips. An English muffin, toasted. I use actual butter, not margarine, because margarine is like 1 molecule away from plastic, and it's filled with microplastics. And a bowl of fruit. Now, this sounds like a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs, and it is. But if I eat that because I forget to eat lunch, it maintains my sugars through lunch. Because I always forget lunch. It's just never been a really big part of my day. So make sure our skulls are in the right direction here. You want to put skulls on upside down, Lungs and brains, doesn't matter, but we don't want to put our skulls on upside down. That would look stupid. There we go. Okay. righty. So, I don't know. Need something. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking. Maybe it's just because this page is not done. Because this looks a little naked to me, but I'm thinking it might be because this page is not completed. Let's see. What do we got that we can put over on this other one? Something small. I'm telling you, when Hubbard and I move, freaking growing everything. Man. Oh, okay, we're going to put this one over here. Okay. This one. Let me get this cut. What? It was there. I saw it. Okay. Now we ink this. So yeah, Michelle sends me pictures of her garden all the time. And I tell her how much I hate her.
We can't grow things here. I barely keep the grass alive.
Nothing grows
We
here.
have grass.
We have grass. That's what we have. And it's not even good grass.
It's as good as it gets here.
It's as good as it gets here, but it's not even good grass. It's that stuff that runs on tendrils, and so yeah, not good. She sent me pictures the other day of her tiny tomatoes and her jalapeno peppers and strawberries. And I texted back, I hate you. I hate you. It's a good thing she knows I love her. Yeah, that didn't help. We still need something over here. I still don't know what it is. I'm not certain what my issue is. There's something missing over here. I don't know what it is. We're going to get to it. We're going to figure it out. Probably not today. Probably not until tomorrow. it needs something. I just don't know what it is. I'm looking.
Come on, I got one hand working the chicken and the other one eating feet in my face. You're rude.
I'll get him. Just give me a second. All right. What are we going to do here? No.
At least at the moment, I'm not eating my bagel and cooking that shit at the same time. Give me a minute. Oh. Come on. Come on. Give you your morning treats.
I think it's this I don't like. I don't know. Let's see. So this is first off, let me close this up. All right, let's get this out of the way. I'm going to throw some ink on here. And that's the top. Put this on. Put the other one down. There it is. There's the top. I'm going to eat this one. I'm just having a very confused day. All right. Call me when you're out there. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to cover. I don't like the page. I'm going to cover the page. Here we go. Put these little blue pockets on. I don't know where I got these black coin envelopes, but they're cool. Probably from Timo, to be honest. I get everything from friggin' Timo. It's cheap. I do like these little black pockets. These little black coin envelopes. They're cool. All right. So we have that. We can put Maud and Claude in here. And we need something for this one. Okay. We could just put a couple of journaling cards in here. We're going to make that into something else anyway. So let's go ahead and put that in there. We'll make it into a tag. So I'm going to put a pin in this. Grab a pin. I'm not doing it right damn now. Okay, so we need to make something out of that. See, that makes the page look a little better. It's not great, but it's better. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages left in this signature. We'll probably get those done tomorrow. What did we do today? Not a whole hell of a lot of anything. We did this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did 5 pages. Today we're going to do 5 pages tomorrow, and that will get us through this signature, and that means that on Friday we will start the second signature. Okay, remember, I do one signature off camera, so I have one that I'm already working. Get that out of the way. So I have Seek and Nut Chore C that I'm working off camera. And I haven't really been doing a lot, so I'm just at the halfway mark on this one. So I don't know. I did this thing, and now this won't lay in there right. And I don't know. It's irritating me, but I'll make it work. Okay. And I still got to clean those two things out because they're driving me nuts too. Actually, my whole desk is driving me nuts. It's like very overstimulating right now. So, what do we got going on? All right. I really should write stuff in the book. All right, so today is the 24th, and we are going to be tomorrow. We're going to be doing tomorrow and Friday. We'll be doing our working on our dark macabre. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our idea book. Does anybody know what we're doing in the idea book? I have no idea. Hold on, I'll tell you. Because I have to go over here and just take a look. Okay, go over to my studio. So tomorrow we are doing micro envelopes. We're going to do the micro envelopes, and then the craft with me. We're going to be prepping some ring bound journals using file cards, not index cards, file cards like the dividers. So we're going to be using some of those. And then, of course, we have mixed media, and we have the feud on Sunday. And this coming week, it's a butterfly ephemera. We're going to be doing a butterfly thing, punches. This month's hashtag Project 25 Challenge is playing cards and or packing tape. You can use one or the other, whatever you want. And what else? I think that's it. Don't forget, every other Monday now, we're using the Monday Mixed Media Mini Morsels. It's 5 mixed media prompts. You can use them in any order that you want. You can add to them or subtract from them, but you can create something with it, and we'd love to see it in the group. Now, moving into October, which will be not next week really, but the week after. First off, Mike's going to be out of town, and we have a beginner's project. It's like an album journal, but it's a smaller version. It is a beginner's project. It's a full 3-day free class, and it's a video class. Obviously, I'm not going to be there for 3 days because I got other things to do. But that's kind of what's going on. So, if you are new here, you have not yet subscribed, and I have not yet offended you, well, we both got things to do. I need to offend you, and you need to subscribe. But, other than that, if you want to check out my schedule, maybe you want to join my Facebook group, see what's going on over my Patreon, check out my Ko-Fi for some free stuff, anything like that, you can find it, all of that. Cyberstalk me, please. In the description box below, just go down and click on more, and it's going to give you all the links. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.